Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Samantha Sullivan.
And I'm Russ Riesinger. Jay and Janelle are off tonight. Tonight, President Trump taking aim at Senator Jon Tester, saying it is personal.
The president continuing to blame Tester for forcing Dr. Ronnie Jackson to withdraw his nomination for VA secretary back in April. At a campaign rally in Missoula, Trump made it all about kicking Jon Tester and the Democrats out of Washington.
It was typical Trump for the most part, the president touting the accomplishments he says his administration has made since taking office, but also putting a Montana spin on things as he campaigned for both Matt Rosendale and Greg Gianforte and fired several shots at their Democratic opponents.
MTN's Mike Dennison had a ringside seat for the Missoula rally and joins us now with a recap.
Democrats have become the party of crime. It's true.
President Trump didn't waste much time firing up the partisan crowd of several thousand people, castigating Democrats for their treatment of Supreme Court nominee and now Justice Brett Kavanaugh.
And come Election Day, Americans will remember Kavanaugh, and they will remember all sorts of other things because that was a shameful act.
He also made it personal against Senator Tester, saying he especially wanted to come to Montana to help defeat him after Tester aired accusations that sunk Trump's VA nominee, Ronnie Jackson, this spring.
He was attacked so viciously, so violently by Jon Tester like I've never seen before. True. All lies, all made up stuff.
Trump didn't bring out Tester's opponent, Republican Matt Rosendale, until a half hour into the speech.
Jon Tester has been too wrong for too long. We can't let Jon Tester and the radical liberal resistance win this November. If they win, they'll go after President Trump and his agenda. We can't let that happen.
But shortly before that, the president praised Congressman Gianforte for body slamming a reporter on the night before Gianforte's election last year.
Any guy that can do a body slam, he's my kind of...
He also brought the crowd to a roaring approval with tough talk about securing the border.
And we will keep the criminal drug dealers and terrorists the hell out of our country.
We heard a pretty raw red meat appeal from the president Thursday night to vote for Republicans in Montana this election, with barely a nod to the middle. In just 2.5 weeks, we'll find out if that translates into victory at the polls. Reporting from Missoula, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Thanks, Mike. And as you could see, there were thousands of supporters there at the rally, but President Trump also drew some opposition from people in Missoula.
MTN's Jonathan Ambarian was there for an event intended to counter what organizers called hateful rhetoric.
Hundreds of people gathered at Missoula's Playfair Park Thursday afternoon for a Love Trump's Hate rally.
We wanted to show President Trump and the nation what Missoula is about. Missoula is about community, tolerance, acceptance, and love.
People in attendance listened to speakers like Missoula Mayor John Engen and carried signs criticizing what they say is divisive language from the president.
I feel like right now what President Trump has done has divided our country, and people are being less tolerant of our differences.
Politics has changed because there is tacit acceptance of hatred.
The event was organized by the group Missoula Rises. Leaders say they put it together in just 6 days.
When we heard he was coming to Missoula, we felt it was important to get our community together and respond to his divisive and hateful rhetoric by coming together as a community and getting out the vote.
A bus was on hand during the event, carrying people to the county elections office to register and vote. To symbolize the importance of voting, the event ended at the election center at the fairgrounds. Marchers came from Playfair Park to the election center, some even dropping off their absentee ballots as they arrived. Rally organizers said many people in Missoula had strong reactions to the president.
We are doing an excellent job of channeling all of those emotions into something constructive. So we respond to that by getting out the vote and voting in people who can make a difference.
In Missoula, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
The Tester campaign says the senator is focused on talking about issues such as public lands, veterans, and health care.
A member of the campaign giving us this response to President Trump's speech.
Tonight was a political speech in an election year, but Senator Tester today, he spent his day down in Butte. He met with a bunch of veterans, Republicans, independents, Democrats to talk about his work for veterans and all the work he's done to secure the Southwest Montana Veterans Home there, which is a big issue in this campaign. And that is a facility that Matt Rosendale voted against when he was a state legislature. So Senator Tester spent today talking about the issues that matter to Montanans in this election, one of those being veterans. And that's what we're focused on in this campaign.
As was mentioned a few hours before the president's visit to campaign for his opponent, Senator Tester was in Butte.
Well, the Democratic incumbent spoke at a rally talking about his accomplishments for veterans. As the ranking member of the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee, several local veterans also voiced their support for Tester, saying his voting record is proof that Tester supports issues important to veterans, unlike his opponent Matt Rosendale, who they say only gives lip service to veterans.
Now, polls do show Tester is in an extremely tight race with Matt Rosendale.
After a lengthy investigation into Interior Secretary Ryan Zinke's travel, the Department of Interior Inspector General found that Zinke and his wife did indeed violate policy for government travel.
The investigation found the secretary broke agency policy when his wife, Lola, traveled with him in federal vehicles. The report also said Zinke considered trying to get around agency rules by making her a volunteer at the agency.
Now, this would have allowed her to travel for free with him on the taxpayer's dime. However, Secretary Zinke denies this claim, and the report says the Zinkes reimbursed the government for Lola Zinke's travel when required.
Montana and nearby states are in good position for growth. That's part of what a group of governors said about economic development in Billings today. The governors say companies will bring the jobs to where people want to live, and Montana and the surrounding region has that quality of life. The governor spoke at the Big Sky Economic Development annual meeting. Governor Steve Bullock from Montana, Governor Matt Mead from Wyoming, and Governor Dennis Dugard from South Dakota talked about the possibilities for growth. Bob Dunn, CEO for the Landmark Development, the company leading the One Big Sky project, also spoke, saying in the past people moved to where the jobs were. Now they're choosing where they want to live instead. The governor speaking about the importance of keeping workers.
We need to figure out a way to keep them in our community, because that's a much more likely win than trying to recruit somebody from 200 or 300 miles away to move to your community.
I think we all need to assume in our respective states we're going to have great success. There's going to be a huge migration of people and businesses and companies that come to the West.
The biggest challenge for businesses, growth and expansion, is making sure that we have a talented and trained workforce. And we have to be working at the local level, the state level, through our education system and through our business community to say, how do we partner to make sure that happens?
Bob Dunn says employees are making a lifestyle choice first and a career choice second, and mountain states are in a position to attract employees.
One man is dead after a motorcycle crash. It happened on the West End this afternoon. Billings Police Sergeant Clyde Reed says the man was traveling at a high rate of speed down South 20th Street West near Canyon Drive when he lost control of that motorcycle. No other vehicles were involved. Traffic in that area was slowed as police continued their investigation. The man who died has not yet been identified.
Well, turning now to the weather scene, Bob, NOAA just released its winter forecast, and it sounds like we won't be breaking last year's snow record, which I'm not complaining about.
106 inches last year for snowfall. You'll love this, Russ. Yeah, 106. This year, though, maybe not. Here's what NOAA says. You'll notice we have a 50% chance that the temperatures in Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming will be above normal. In fact, much of the western half of the country is expecting above average temperatures, and the southeastern corner of the state, that's equal chances of being above or below average for temperatures. Now let's talk about precipitation. Most of the wet stuff is going to stay to the south. This is because we anticipate a El Nino year, and that's what happens in the El Nino year. Most of the moisture stays to the south, and up in the north, we expect generally drier conditions in the Great Lakes states and also in Montana. We're looking at about a 40% chance that we'll have below normal precipitation in eastern Montana and about a 30% chance below normal up in the mountains. We'll see. We'll have your local forecast in a few more minutes.
Well, coming up on tonight's 10 o'clock news, drug prices are skyrocketing, so what's being done about it? We'll take a look in tonight's Health Watch.
And later in sports, the oldest rivalry in Yellowstone County with the Eastern A crown on the line. Highlights from Central Laurel coming up.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn. and Janelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.